The dark room was steeped in red light. Ryota leaned over the chemical tray, alone with his grandfather's Leica. An undeveloped roll, found inside the camera, had waited 40 years for this moment.
After all this time, what image was hidden on this film?
Slowly, shapes emerged from the silver emulsion. A face, a smile, the glint of jewelry. The photograph materialized. A young woman inside a vintage photo booth, holding open a silver heart-shaped locket.
That locket. It's exactly like May's. No, it's identical.
He grabbed the developed strip, hands shaking, and scanned the frame for any flaw. There was none.
This was taken before either of us was born. Before our parents were born. How is this possible?
He couldn't stay in the red-lit silence. The photo had to be shown. Now, he sprinted into the night, clutching the impossible picture, headed straight for May. Ryota didn't knock. He burst into May's apartment, breathless, the photo outstretched.
Ryota? What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Look at this. Look at the locket.
That's my locket. But who is that? I've never seen her before.
Check the back. That crack. It's exactly the same.
This locket has been mine since I was 6. How can it be in a photo from decades ago?
He held the film strip to the light. The edge read 1986. May hadn't even been born.
This can't be possible. My grandmother gave me this locket, but she never said anything about a photo.
May's hands trembled as she held the locket and photo side by side. The truth was undeniable and impossible.
We have to find out who she is. This locket connects you to a past you never knew.
But how, Ryota? This locket was in my family long before I was born. I just don't understand.
The film's edge was stamped 1986. May wouldn't draw breath for another 17 years.
I was 6 when Oba-chan put it around my neck. She never said whose it had been.
Maybe your mother knows something. Could she identify the woman in the photo?
May called her mother, voice tight, and described the impossible picture. Her mother was baffled. She had never seen the woman and knew nothing about the locket's history.
She doesn't know anything. The locket has always been a secret.
Then your grandmother is the only one who can give us answers.
Oba-chan never speaks of her past. Something about this locket must hurt deeply.
They decided to visit her the next morning, though May's hands still shook with a nameless dread. The next morning, the old house stood silent under a gray sky. Ryota held May's hand as they walked to the door. May-chan and Ryota-kun, you both look so serious. What's happened?
Oba-chan, please, look at this picture.
Where did you get this? This cannot exist.
It was in my grandfather's camera. An undeveloped roll from 1986. We developed it yesterday.
The grandmother's hands began to tremble, the old fingers clutching the photo as if it were a living wound. 40 years. I never thought I'd see her like this again.
Who is she, Oba-chan? Why does she have my locket?
I can't. Not all of it. But I will tell you something. Sit. May and Ryota knelt on the tatami, waiting. The silence was heavy with decades of unshed tears. She was my younger sister. Your great-aunt, Yuki. A car accident. She was 19. This photo was taken the week it happened.
My great-aunt. I never even knew she existed.
When you turned 6, I saw her in you. The same kindness. That's why I gave you the locket. The grandmother gestured toward a closet where an old-school uniform still hung, untouched since that summer. I've kept few photos. It hurt too much to remember.
There's a young man with her in this one. Who is he?
No one. Just someone who was there. Please, I can't speak of him.
Oba-chan, we need to know the whole truth. This isn't just an old memory anymore.
The grandmother pressed the album shut. Her silence a door slammed against the past. Ryota's hand stopped on a page where the young man stood beside Yuki, a camera clutched in his hands.
This camera, It looks exactly like my grandfather's Leica.
Are you sure? It might just be a coincidence.
He was a photographer. He loved capturing light, moments. He took that booth photo of Yuki. The grandmother's voice wavered as if each word cost her a piece of her heart. He was her fiancé. They were to marry that autumn. But after the accident, I never saw him again.
Fiancé? Grandfather never married anyone else. Could it be?
Ryota stared at the image, a familiar shape of the Leica burning a question into him. I never knew his full name. He just called her Yuki. Please, that's all I can say. Ryota's fingers curled into fists. He had to go home, to his grandfather's box. Ryota slammed the apartment door and knelt before a weathered cardboard box labeled in his grandfather's hand.
Grandfather never threw anything away. If there's proof, it's in here.
He pulled out a stack of yellow envelopes, tied with a faded red ribbon. The top one bore a single name.
This handwriting, it's his. And the name, Yuki.
With trembling hands, he unfolded the brittle paper. The words had waited 40 years for this moment. My dearest Yuki, every day without you is a wound. I will keep this camera until we meet again.
Grandfather. He was her fiancé. He never stopped loving her.
He saw again the photograph of the young couple. The man with the Leica, the woman with the locket. His past and hers collided.
He never remarried. He kept the film undeveloped because he couldn't bear to see her.
His foot struck a fallen frame. The glass shattered across a portrait of his elderly grandfather, still cradling that Leica. Ryota fumbled for his phone and dialed May. His voice cracked as he asked her to come.
Ryota, you are scaring me. I'll be right there.
May arrived within minutes, her breath shallow, and found Ryota sitting among scattered letters and broken glass.
He loved her. May, my grandfather was your great-aunt's fiancé. This letter proves it.
The same couple from Obachan's album, and she never said a word. All these years, the locket was a gift from your grandfather. It's been waiting to come back.
Why would your grandmother hide that our families were connected? It doesn't make sense.
She must have been too broken to ever look for him. Maybe she didn't even know his real name.
We have to tell her the whole truth. She deserves to know her sister's love survived.
Hand in hand, they stepped into the evening, the letter folded in Ryota's pocket, the locket warm against May's chest. The grandmother had not slept. When she saw Ryota's face, she gestured for them to sit without a word.
Oba-Achin, we found this letter. It was his. Please, read the name.
Her eyes moved over the words, and a long suppressed sob tore from her throat. Hiro-kun. I knew his voice the moment you said the name. I wanted to forget. It hurt too much. He was my older brother. My own flesh, and I let 40 years pass without a single word.
Your brother? That means Ryota and we're family?
A hand-drawn family tree lay on the table, now complete. The line from her sister's heart led straight to Ryota.
You never knew I existed, did you? Grandfather never reached out after Yuki.
No, child. Your father was a baby when my brother broke. I let the silence swallow us both. May's hands fell limp. The locket felt heavier now, a link across decades and a truth that changed everything between them. Hiro was my best friend before he was my brother. When he fell for Yuki, I thought our family would become invincible. Then, the crash. I blamed myself. I had encouraged her to go out that day. My brother couldn't look at me without seeing her. She pressed the locket between her palms, as if her sister's warmth still lived inside the silver.
Obahashan, Ryota and I are dating. We've been together for years. We're cousins. How can we just keep going?
May, stop. We're third cousins. It's legal. It's normal. We aren't any different than we were yesterday.
It's not normal. Our grandparents were siblings. The same blood. Every time I look at you now, I'll see that family tree.
Then you'll see a love that survived 40 years of silence. We didn't choose the blood, but we chose us.
I gave you the locket when you were 6 because you had her kindness. I never imagined it would lead you to him. The family tree was a noose around their past, but neither could pull away from the other's eyes.
How do I unlove him? Or is this the one thing I can't undo, no matter how the branches twist? Wait. Third cousin marriage is legal in Japan. I remember reading that. The law doesn't forbid it.
Then why are we tearing ourselves apart? We loved each other long before we knew about any of this. Our grandparents' tragedy doesn't define us. They loved, and so do we. That's what matters.
But if people find out, they'll whisper. Our families might reject us for carrying on a cursed past.
Cursed? No, child. Yuki's love was the purest I ever knew. It should be celebrated, not hidden.
Then let's celebrate it. We can tell them the whole story, not as shame, but as proof that love survives.
Seeing you both, I see Hiro's determination in your eyes, Ryota, and Yuki's gentle heart in you, Mei.
Then, I won't run away. For Yuki and Hiro, and for us, we'll face whatever comes together.
The old room held a fragile peace. 2 sets of broken branches had found a way to intertwine at last, but the family tree still cast long shadows. Healing 40 years of silence would demand more than words. I should have called him, written 1 letter. Now he's gone, and I'll never hear his voice again. Your grandfather never looked at another woman. He kept that like a vigil for 40 years.
He never remarried. He carried her in that camera until the very end.
The grandmother rose, her joints aching, and from a cabinet brought out a small velvet box, untouched for decades. Inside rested a silver ring, the one Hiro had saved for his bride. The diamond glinted, patient and pure. This was for her. I kept it, not knowing why. Now I see. It was meant to reach you, Mei.
Obachan, I can't. This ring carries so much pain. How can I wear it without remembering the tragedy?
It carries love, too. Yuki would want you to have it. Let it finish the story that was cut short. Mei lifted the ring, her fingers trembling. Beside the locket, the 2 heirlooms whispered of a love that refused to die, but the families were still strangers. This ring was only the first step toward mending 4 decades of silence.
Obachan, let's hold a memorial for Yuki and for Hiro. Both families should know what was lost and what was found.
A memorial. I could finally say goodbye to them. After all these years.
It's the right thing. We need to bring everyone together to heal the silence that's lasted 40 years.
Keep the ring. When the time is right, you'll know what to do with it.
I'll call my father. He has no idea he has an aunt, a family he never knew existed.
Ryota lifted his phone. The call that followed would rewrite their family's history. His father listened, at first disbelieving, then weeping at the sound of his aunt's voice after 40 years. He promised to come, bringing his side of the family. 2 branches, severed for decades, would finally touch. Mei circled a date on the wall calendar. 7 days until the memorial. The house held a fragile hope. The past was about to meet the present, and nothing would be the same. Ryota placed the phone into his grandmother's trembling hands. On the screen, a face she had never seen but somehow knew. You are Nii-san's son. You have his eyes. I thought I'd never see them again. The man on the screen couldn't speak. He only nodded, tears falling as 40 years of silence cracked. I am sorry. I was too weak to call. He loved you, even though he never showed it.
2 broken families, now held together by a single call. Obachan never let herself cry for him until now.
Father, she kept the ring. We'll bring everything home at the memorial.
The old house would host the memorial. Yuki's uniform still hung in the closet, waiting. A date was circled. 7 days away. Mei and Ryota worked through the night, calling relatives. Both sides agreed to come. 40 years of silence would end in a single room, but old wounds don't heal with a single invite. The rain outside echoed the uncertainty inside. They visited two graves on opposite sides of the city, Hiro's and Yuki's, leaving white lilies at each.
Rest now, Yuki Obasan. Your locket is home.
Ji-chan, I found her. You can rest now.
An old map showed where the photo booth once stood. They walked there as the sun dipped low.
This is where it all began. Yuki stood right here, 40 years ago.
They squeezed into the booth, imagining the flash that once captured Yuki's smile. Back home, they worked until midnight, centering the photograph on a large frame. May polished the Leica until it gleamed, as if Hiro himself would use it again. An album sat open, filled with copies of the old letters and photos, a history for both families. The Leica stood on a display table, the framed photograph beside it. Tomorrow, the families would arrive. The small hall was filled with white lilies. Two enormous frames, Yuki's gentle smile, Hiro's kind eyes watched over the room. Both families filed in, strangers bound by blood. The air was thick with decades of unsaid words. That man, his eyes are Hiro's. How can I face him after all these years? I am the one who broke our family. I have no words, only an apology 40 years too late. Ryota's father caught his breath, then bowed back, lower still, sobbing. Neither could speak. They stumbled into an embrace. 40 years of grief crashing down at once. May and Ryota stood at the side, hands intertwined, watching the first crack in a frozen history. Your father loved Yuki more than life. The Leica was his heart. Please accept it back into your family. The father knelt before the display, touching the Leica as if it were his father's hand. A fragile, tearful peace settled over the hall. The memorial had begun, and so had the healing. Stories began to flow. The grandmother spoke of Yuki's bright laugh, and Ryota's father finally understood his own father's quiet grief. Yuki would hum when she was happy. I hear that same tune in May's voice now, the father added, his voice unsteady. That Hiro would sit by the window every evening, as if waiting for someone. May, come forward. It's time to close the circle. This ring waited 40 years for its rightful hand. It belongs to love, the love that was and the love that is. May slipped the ring on her finger beside the locket. Both heirlooms glinted as if recognizing each other.
I'll wear them both until I can pass them on. Yuki Obosan, Hiro Ojizan. Thank you.
Ryota lifted the Leica onto the central display, beside the enlargement. A camera that had waited decades now told everything. The ring's diamond caught the light, and for a heartbeat, the room felt lighter, as if two souls sighed in peace. The memorial was over, but its echo would live. Families lingered, and the photograph behind them still smiled. Months passed. The locket and ring became as natural on May as her own heartbeat. Their small home held the Leica on a shelf, a patient witness to ordinary mornings. Every month, both families gathered around a loud, crowded table. Laughter replaced the old silence.
We're not just cousins anymore. We're the story keepers.
Obachan visited Hiro's grave for the first time in 40 years, placing a faded photo of Yuki beside his name. I am so sorry, Nii-san. I've brought her to you at last. Ryota and May walked the same streets they always had, but now they walked with everyone they'd lost.
Do you think they're watching?
Every day. That's why we have to live twice as bright.
The past wasn't a wound anymore. It was a quiet wind at their backs. Ryota knelt one evening, the recast ring in his hand. The diamond had been resized to fit her perfectly.
May, will you finish the story our grandparents started? Marry me.
Yes, 1,000 times. Yes.
They decided on a small ceremony, but every guest would hear the story of two lovers separated by time.
I want the locket and ring as my wedding pieces. And the photo booth picture behind us, watching.
When they told Oba-Achan, She wept openly, not from sorrow, but from a joy she thought had died with her sister. She would be so proud. He would be, too. They chose a date and placed the Leica beside the guest book, a silent witness to the union.
We'll walk down the aisle with the past and into a future they imagined but never lived.
The wedding wasn't yet, but the promise was already a homecoming for two families. The chapel glowed with candlelight. The photo booth picture stood behind the altar, Yuki's smile eternal. May walked down the aisle, the locket resting over her heart, the ring already a part of her.
May, I vow to carry our grandparents' love into every day we share.
Ryota, I vow to finish the story they couldn't. We are their answer.
Both families wept openly. 40 years of silence now washed away by happy tears. The Leica sat on a velvet stand, its lens catching the candlelight like a tiny sun. As they exchanged rings, the metal felt warm, as if Hiro and Yuki were holding hands through them. When they kissed, a soft gasp rose from the guests, the first breath of a healed family. Yuki, Hiro, they did it. And as they walked back up the aisle, the past wasn't behind them. It walked right beside them. The reception hall buzzed with laughter. Two families, once strangers, now clung to each other like long-lost kin. I never thought I'd see this day. My sister Yuki loved once, and it was enough to last 40 years. May, Ryota, you are the answer to a prayer I stopped praying. Love that never dies. That's what you are. She raised her glass, and every hand in the room followed. A toast to love that outlives time. The couple danced, the locket swaying with each step. For a moment, it was as if four souls moved together. Guests passed by the display. The Leica, the letters, Yuki's smiling photograph. Many touched the camera as if it were sacred. As night fell, May and Ryota slipped outside. The stars above seemed closer than ever.
Do you think they're happy?
They're not just happy, they're home.
The locket and ring lay together on a white lily. And somewhere, in a photo booth long gone, a young woman smiled. The cherry trees bloomed and scattered season after season. The little house stayed warm through them all. On an ordinary shelf, the Leica rested beside a framed photo of a laughing young couple. May's locket and ring were worn smooth with years, but their shine never faded. They no longer spoke of loss. They spoke of a young woman in a photo booth and a man who never stopped loving her. The grandmother sat under the blossoms, a small smile on her face. She never missed a chance to tell the story again on quiet evenings. Ryota and May still walked hand in hand, the city skyline their only witness.
No matter how many years pass, I still feel them with us.
That's because they are.
And in the soft morning light, the locket and ring still lay together on a white lily, patient and eternal. Some love stories don't end. They just wait for someone to turn the page.